Hey everybody, my name is Amy and today I'm going to talk to you guys about communication and a couple topics that I've gained a little bit of experience on and learned some things the hard way, and I want to share those things and hope that they, help you to go forward with your, talks with people to be more effective for them as a coach. So how I overcome objections and how I basically get the conversation rolling with people. So one of the things I found that's really interesting is when people do, maybe they're inspired by my posts regularly, or they start to think about me over the course of months. Some people spend months wondering if they should join, and they are following me. So randomly I get these messages from people that I haven't talked to for years, and they'll say, I'm so interested, you're inspiring me, what do I do, how do I sign up, send it to me. And those messages are so incredibly awful because if I used to do this, I used to respond and say, oh my god, the challenge pack is 140, it's so great, blah, blah, blah. This is what I learned in the group. I lost 12 pounds, 13 inches. Do you want to do it? I'll get you into the challenge group. And I was really excited, and it would work a lot of the time. But what I found is that I started getting these people in these groups that had no idea of the expectations, and they would fall off or not utilize the program. And I was doing this backtracking where I was then saying, like, wait a second, what are your goals? Like, why aren't you doing this? Like, don't you have, the ambition to do this? And they wouldn't be doing it, or they wouldn't believe in themselves. And so I learned that it's really important to focus on the conversations in the beginning. And from after the first month as a coach, I decided that anybody that messaged me, my first goal was to just say, ignore their cost questions or anything, and say, how have you been since I saw you last, since we last communicated? I look in their Facebook profile, I see you had a baby, I see you got a house, I see you are married, I see you're in school again, I see that you're living in Maryland, whatever it is, I just communicate with them. And then I ask them, so why are you interested in this? And I let them know right off the bat that knowing their goals for this and what it's going to do for them to actually feel the way they're wanting to by losing that 20 pounds and fitting into their pants again and being attractive to their spouse once more. I asked them, why is that going to matter, and what will it mean to you if that actually happens during my challenge group with you and these 21 days? Are you going to, or whatever it is, are you going to find that initial investment is worth it? Because otherwise, I have absolutely no interest in selling them anything that they're not going to find useful. There's way too many multi-level marketing companies out there that end up, selling people these weight loss products or these, products, and they get them and then they have no accountability to follow through. They try it on their own for a couple weeks. They, maybe they get some results, but then they fall off. And I actually had one girl that recently, a friend of mine told me how many she's been through, and her husband told her she's not allowed to buy anything else for weight loss for a long time because he felt she didn't value it. And so when I came with an actual solution and actual heart into the situation, I want her to feel good, he was like, no. And she was scared too. And it took a lot for me to build her up and let her know that I'm not going to leave her hanging at the end of that. It is not worth it to me to sell her a challenge pack she's not going to use. Those Success Club points, any of that doesn't matter, because if they're not going to get what it takes out of this, I don't even want them to join me. Not until they're ready. And when I tell them that, they end up taking my expectations and having expectations for themselves and putting them together so that they can make their own goals. And they realize this isn't a joke. This isn't me just signing them up for something that they're not going to have the support with later. And the price objections. Oh, right? You get through this whole big long thing and you're so excited and they're so excited and everybody's excited, and then they're like, how much does it cost? I never tell people the cost until I've developed the value in their head, first of all, and they're excited about it. I do my best to avoid that question. I never send them to a website. I always, always, always let them know that if they do anything on their own by going to a website, they're going to be signed up with a random coach. So some people are antsy and they want to do that. And you got to let them know you're going to help them. So even if you can't respond or get into a whole lovey conversation, let them know, hey, I'm going to respond to you later, and you're going to be good. I'm going to set you up, but just don't go on the website or do any of this, because it's going to set you up wrong. But price objections. So you may spend all this time talking to them, like I said, and you might find out that they have, you know, a lot of insecurities, blah, blah, blah. Some people still won't see the value of the challenge pack purchase after that. And they'll say, you know, $140, I really can't afford that right now. I'm going to have to wait. So I asked them specifically, what would it be for you if you actually reached all those goals? Would that matter to you? And if they like really can resonate, if I have that conversation about attaching their goals to why the challenge pack and challenge group is going to work for them, then sometimes they'll start to see that value. I offer suggestions on how they can save money throughout the week, throughout the next couple weeks, and I constantly am checking on them, like, hey, I'm still so excited for you to join your group. How's it going saving the money? Like, and I don't make a big deal of it, except that I let them know I really am excited for them. I let them know that it's going to be worth it every day that I can, and they will come around. So try those things and remember that everybody's different here. Sometimes some of us have really warm markets in the beginning, and what I mean by that is we post one transformation photo or one thing, and all these people we've known because we've been big marketers or network people, like we never burned bridges or erased our friends. We have all this warm market and they'll join us really quick. And sometimes we get into more of a slow market, you know, it slows down. People, it's harder. We have to do more invites. We have to reach out more. We have to follow up more. We have to have a tracking system. And if we don't, then it's really hard because this honeymoon phase causes a huge letdown when we are successful, and then we realize we have to actually put in the work. So while you're doing these communication things, this is going to be compounding over time if you're helping them to overcome these objections and their price objections and giving them every reason to not have an excuse anymore. So hopefully that made sense, and I hope it really helps as you go forward with your conversations. I know a lot of coaches struggle with this the most, and I just find that the more I ask about their goals, the more I find out, I felt found with them. It is golden. So go kick booty. All right, bye.